Good morning, you're listening to 98.4 Capital FM on this Valentine's Day when the wires are certainly crossing in Renee's head. We get there in the end. And I did promise to give you a ticket, a VIP ticket to the Barclays Kenya Open golfing tournament, which kicks off today at the Karen Country Club. And I did play a clip. I did indeed. And of course, the script writers had various people who they were sure it was. I shan't even read some of these responses because really, to air them would probably amount to hate speech. Michael Jordan, he's not even an actor. Like, that movie is so famous. How could you come up with Michael Jordan? I've got Chris Rock. Yeah, see, it amounts to hate speech. I can't read these responses. But I'll tell you who it was. It was Jack Nicholson. And the first person who did email me and got it correct is Andrea Kakande. Andrea Kakande, I hope I've got that right. Kakande, your number ends with 465. Congratulations, my love. You get yourself a ticket. Can I just say that I've got a camera facing me and the man behind the camera is just giggling away as I struggle with this last name. Look, leave me alone. It's Valentine's Day, okay? And of course, I did say to you that we do have the delightful and the always very interesting Eric Latiff. Good morning, Eric.
Happy Valentine's Day, Renee.
Oh, why, thank you very much, and a happy Valentine's Day to you.
I think I'd forgotten about it until I saw you.
Oh, God bless your pointy head. I'm sure you're going to follow that up with something like my red dress, which everyone is going on about.
Yes.
Not all that, by the way. It's just the fact that it's red and it's Valentine's Day.
Was it coincidental?
It wasn't coincidental. This is my tribute to romance. I wore a red dress. There you go. Just goes to show that deep down beneath that cynical, hard exterior is, a soft, mushy, romantic. Yes, I do.
There's an underbelly.
Yes. Well, there's a big underbelly that needs to be taken to the gym, but that's not where we're going this morning. Where we are going, in fact, is to the polls.
Indeed.
And
it's very, very crucial that as we start thinking about the polls, we start coming back to the basics. Mm-hmm. And the basics are that you have a life to live. And there's this tendency by many of us who are working to start thinking very, very grandiose and start talking about big things. Oh, we have borrowed this much. Oh, our debt burden. Oh, our forex reserves are this much. And then when it comes to the basics, start saying, the ordinary voter has the basic needs. When you're talking about the voter, the mwananchi wa kawaida, this debate should not have been held at Brookhouse School. It should have been held at the Mashinani. And basically what you're saying is, us guys think big, and then there's the other guy who thinks about eating food daily.
Well, there's this whole idea.
Like we don't eat food daily.
Exactly, that's the thing. There's this whole idea of us versus them. Like there's a them that live in a city outside of ours, or in a country that is different from ours.
Exactly, and it's very unfortunate. I'll begin by what I've been doing for the last couple of months, and I'll begin by asking: did you vote in the last election of 2007? Now let's assume that you said yes. The next question will be: do you remember who you voted for as president?
Chances
I'm
are
absolutely sure that you remember, and the answer is yes. Do you remember who you voted for as member of parliament? Chances are, most likely, yes, you remember. Now, do you remember who you voted for as councillor? Chances are, most likely, that if you're listening to me this morning, you don't.
But why is that relevant? I mean, really, what does a councillor do? As far as we're concerned, they just go to City Hall, hit each other with over the head with chairs.
This is the thing. And we are the same people who sit here and talk grandiose, and we start talking about, our dead burden and all these things, but we cannot simplify a simple thing as, what's the role of this person that I'm going to elect?
Well, actually, let's talk about the people who we are going to elect now, because we've got 6 ballot papers, and there's been a lot of hype about the president. So, and it's the president, so we pretty much know they run the country, generally. The senator who represents us in the Senate, which is a new house, which is just going to have people representing us, ostensibly to discuss the national budget. The governor, who is sort of like the mayor, but of the county.
Yeah.
So he is in charge of running the city or
The
the
affairs
county
of
for
the
that
county.
matter, the affairs of the county.
Yeah.
And then it goes blank.
Exactly. Now let's look at it critically.
Okay.
There are two levels of government. There's the national government, and then there's the county government. The national government, of course, is led by the president and the deputy president, who you're going to vote for as one ticket, president, deputy. Then there's a member of parliament who's going to sit at the National Assembly. The House of Parliament has two chambers now. There's the National Assembly and the Senate. There's a member of parliament who is going to be elected per constituency to represent the constituency in the National Assembly. And then there's also another member of parliament who's going to be elected by county, who's going to be called the women's rep. Basically, this is just a member of parliament, adding up to the numbers in the National Assembly, the county women's rep. Then we also, of course, are going to have the nominated MPs and the certain number to make sure that we hit some threshold of nominated MPs. And then we go to the other chamber of parliament, the Senate. You're going to have a senator elected per county. Now, the role of the senator is basically to go to the Senate and make sure that this devolved system of government is protected. Look at laws that touch on devolution. Any law that touches on devolution must go to the Senate. If it's a budget, it must go to the Senate. When you're talking about, for example, how much money are we going to allocate to the county governments, that must go to the Senate. The Senate itself can come up with laws that say this is how counties shall relate with each other, they shall relate to the national government. The Senate will discuss this. It's the role of the Senate, basically legislative.
Got it.
Pure
Okay.
and simple. Not coming and taking your petitions and putting them in a truck and driving around the city with them and saying, I'm taking care of the people. Then we come to the county government itself. The county government also has an executive arm and a legislative arm. The executive arm is led by the governor and the
Yes.
deputy governor as one ticket. And this is a chief executive officer of the county. He's the one who, or she, is the one who is responsible for the day-to-day running of the county. Basically transform Nairobi from city council and make it a county government. The governor is the one who decides how we're going to improve business environment in Nairobi, how we're going to improve the living conditions in Nairobi, how we're going to improve all the standards, markets, business, thriving, and all those social amenities, hospitals and social halls and playing fields and all. But all those plans, just like the president cannot just wake up and decide what to do, there are very many issues that he needs to go to pass through the county assembly. And the county assembly is made up of county reps. County reps come from each ward. So your ward representative is called the county representative. The guy who, or the man or woman that you choose at the ward level is the one who's going to sit in the county assembly, making laws for the county. The city hall in the previous government was supposed to make bylaws. Remember the time when we
Yes, of
started
course.
complaining, Nairobi's bylaws do not allow you to keep chicken, Nairobi's bylaws do not allow you to bring cows into the city, Nairobi's bylaws do not allow you to spit ovyo, all those things. Now, let's move that into Nairobi's bylaws say that a certain area is classified as residential. And this residential is also limited to this number of floors per house or this number of housing units per acre, or, all these things are supposed to be done by the county government.
Eric, when I listen to all of this, how it occurs to me is just a huge wage bill for people who are duplicating other people's work. But be that as it may, because I can't see why at the governor's level, all of this cannot be done, because given that he's pretty much running an organization that seems to parallel, for all intents and purposes, the city council, which is a local authority. Why we then need ward representatives, members of parliament who have a legislative function at national level, who are then being overseen in a sense by the Senate. It seems like such a huge wage bill for people who practically, what this guy or this woman who I'm voting for, what exactly are they doing for me? That's what I want to know.
Let's break it down.
let's do right after we pay these bills,
right.
actually. So, you are listening to, obviously, you know who you're listening to, Eric Latiff, as always. He's come in to talk about all of these governor and below.
That's my focus.
That's your focus today.
The small man.
The small man and the day-to-day stuff that is going to affect us. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about exactly what do these people do and why on earth are we going to be paying them tons of tax money, which could be going towards, to be very honest, fixing the potholes that are outside my road. That and more when we come back. You're listening to 98.4 Capital FM.